in this session, we're going to see data access controls. So by using data access control, you can apply row-level security to your object. There are different options for specifying criteria to determine which user is allowed to access specific data, so that you can give row-level access to your data based on the user. So one option is to define access based on hierarchy, and there are other options as well. So before going into data access control, let's look at our data. If you remember, in previous sessions, we had uploaded something called product. We created a product table and we have created this data, like where we have product ID, name, product category, and category name. So here under the category name, if you look at the data, we have some kind of beverages like alcohol, carbonated drinks, energy drinks, juices, others. These are all comes under, these are all beverages. What we are going to do is we can create a table with a semantic type as hierarchy, and we can upload the data. Like for example, like let's see how we can create a, suppose assume like in hierarchy we have two types of hierarchies: parent-child hierarchy and level-based hierarchy. Normally in like in case of parent-child hierarchies, like it's recursive and may have any number of levels and is defined by specifying a parent column and a child column within the dimension. For example, you can consider like departmental hierarchy. That could be model like parent department and then the department ID like that. And we have another type of hierarchy, which is level-based hierarchy. Basically, it's non-recursive. For example, you can consider, time hierarchy, where it will have like year, quarter, month, week, day, different columns. So when you are defining this level-based hierarchy in a dimension, you have to create multiple columns. Whereas in parent-child, you must have two, like parent column and child, parent hierarchy column and the child ID. So in our scenario, like as I shown you, we have different kind of beverages. Let's say they are under beverages category. Under beverages, we have non-alcoholic type, alcoholic beverages, and others. And in non-alcoholic, we have carbonated drinks, energy drinks, and juices. So how do we, create a data based on this? If I go to this this Excel, you can see here child and parent. Here I have created beverages as child. For this, there is no parent. So that means it's a top level. For this beverages, there is a root node. Under that, we have beverages. And again, you see, I mentioned parent as beverages for alcohol, non-alcohol, and others. So that means for all these three, beverages is the parent. That's why I defined beverages under the parent. And again, you see, we have three drinks: carbonated, energy, and juices. For all of them, it's non-alcoholic parent. These comes all under the non-alcoholic. So what we are going to do in this session by using data access control, I want to like see data for my user only non-alcoholic uh, product categories. And whereas I will also, use another user ID to log in and see, but for that user, I have to see only uh, product category of alcohol and others. So let's see how do we define this using this data access control. So let's create a table first, and I'm gonna create one table of parent-child hierarchy, and I'm gonna load data. So let's see in the system. Go to our data builder. Go inside our folder Datasphere. Let's go inside tables, and let's create a table by clicking on new table. And I want to name this hierarchy product category. Here I'll choose my semantic usage as hierarchy. So when you select hierarchy, you see it's giving some validation errors, which are errors. The table doesn't have any columns. Still, we have not created. Define child attribute for the hierarchy, parent attribute for the hierarchy. You see, here it's asking to provide parent and child. Since we don't have any columns, we'll not be able to give. So let's go and create attributes. I want to create two attributes. I'm going to name this as child category and parent category. I'm going to take my string length as 30. And when you are creating parent-child hierarchy, you must select the key as for the child. Okay. Now when you come about to general section again, here now you will see the column names here. Since we have given attributes. So for parent, I'll choose parent category. For child, I'll choose child category. You see now there are no validation errors. So I'm okay with rest of the options. Let's save this. And save it. Deploy it. Once it is deployed, deployment is completed. I'm going to load the data which we created. Let's select upload. I have data hierarchy product categories. Let's click on that. Now just select delete existing data before upload. Anyway, we don't have any data. Rest of the options are okay. And here you make sure to select child category for your child and parent category. Let's click on import. Now import is completed. Let's click on data viewer. You can see your data is uploaded. As you can see for beverages, the parent category, parent node is updated as null because this is the root node. And since this is hierarchy, I would be able to, I can see the hierarchy, but I'm not sure why I'm not getting this. Anyway, I'll check that later. So now we have created this hierarchy. Now we have to create for to define data access controls, we have to, define one more table with permission entity where you will have, SAP, sorry, Datasphere user ID and the column like category on which you want to provide the access. Let's create that and let's go back to table. Go inside our Datasphere folder, tables. Let's create a new table. I'm going to name this as permission entity product category. and I'm going to define 3 columns here. So here you have to define user ID and the and category, because here we are going to, in our scenario where we want to see for my product ID only particular product category related data only. So you have to define that. So let's add the columns like record ID, user ID, product category. So this here we are creating permission entity. Once we maintain data, you will see like how this works. So here I'm going to select record ID as integer, just a number. So let's select integer and let's give user ID as string 50 and string 30 for product category. Okay. Just check there are no validation errors. Sorry. Let's save and apply this. Let's change the technical name to just PE. Let's go back. Yeah, I want to name it as PE product category. Save it. So let me add my record ID as a key column. So save it again and apply this. Let's wait for the deployment to complete it. Okay, now it's deployed. Here I don't have any file to upload the data. So let's go to data editor. We can maintain this manually. So click on add to add the row. So here we will add like first row, and I'm going to here you have to provide the user IDs of your like SAP Datasphere. For example, my user ID, if I want to know, like you can come here, click on settings. So I have my email here, so I can give that. Close this. I'll give my email ID and the product category. So if you remember, I want to see only non-alcoholic, product categories when I go and see in the model or sales fact view is created. When I go and see the data preview, I want to see, I have to I have to get only non-alcoholic product categories. So I have to provide like the category name. So if you remember in my like Excel, the category, I'll copy this name and I will give as non-alcoholic. And I will add one more row. Okay. Actually, I have created another user in this Datasphere tenant. So I'm going to give that as a second user. I know the email ID. Let me write this 9492E at email. How I created this another user by using security and users, will discuss that in the later sessions. So what I want to see for this user, suppose if I log in with this user ID and if I see, if I go to analytical model or say sales fact view, I should be able to see like alcoholic product categories and there is something called others. Both I want to see. So let's give I'll copy this name and I'll give this one because I have to give the correct names here. Let's add one more row, the third, and I copy again the other user which I created and I'll give it as others. Think others only category. Yeah. Okay. Now I entered my data, save it. Just go back to table editor, click on data view. You can see the data here in this table. So now let's go back to data builder. Now we are like we have two tables. Now what we are going to do is we are going to create data access control. Here you have option to create data access control, or you can also create from, sorry, here, data access control. So what I did is I created a folder for data access control. Let's go inside that folder. Let's click on create new data access control. So let me go to my Excel. Okay. There are two areas, general and criteria. Okay, first we'll complete the general area. I'm going to give business name and technical name. I'm going to name this as owner leave it. And structure, here you have different types. So here we are going for the based on hierarchy, we're defining this data access control. Once you select the hierarchy, you see in the permission entity, it is asking select a table or view containing user IDs and criteria. If you remember, we created a permission entity table where we have record ID, user ID, and the like criteria column. So let's go inside this and select our table. Yeah, this one we created permission entity product category where I have user IDs on the product category name. Click on this, and here you can see for this permission entity, the permission entity must include an identifier column providing user IDs recognized by your identity provider formed as following. Like this it is showing. So you must have your user IDs in the permission entity table. So next, identifier column. So which is your identifier? You have to select the user ID here. These are the two columns which are available in the permission entity. Your identifier column should be this one, user ID. So next, come to criteria. Here you have to give some name to your criteria based name. I'm gonna give this as product category. Okay. Now here we have created table of type hierarchy. So you have to select that entity here because here you define the hierarchy, and so this is the one which we created. I think uh, hierarchy, no, this one, product category hierarchy. Let's go and check in the table. Yeah, hierarchy product category we created. So let's select the first one. Now here you have to select the column for product category. Okay. Here in the above section, you have to select the user ID. In the below section, you have to select the product category and hierarchy entity. After that, click on save and apply this data access control. So I'm gonna save with the same name. Deploy it. Now our data access control is ready. So now we will see how we can apply this to our sales fact view. So let's go back to data builder, go to our folder, go to our views. Here we have two views. One is for dimension store, one is for sales view fact. Let's open the sales view fact. Let's minimize this left section and just click on the output node and view the data. Here, let's bring, here click on the column settings and let's bring our checks. Okay, not now. So here we don't have product category name. We have product ID, but we don't have product category now. So what we are going to do is let's drag our product. So you want to define data access controls, right? So the related author related column must be there in the view. So we have our product category name in product dimension. So let's go to tables. Drag the product dimension on sales transaction. So it's created an inner join. Let's do one thing. Let's change the join type to left outer join. And here you can say many transactions to exactly one product. And you can see here the product ID is mapped to product ID. Let's click on here we are getting 9 columns. Here we have 4 columns. So let's click on projection node. Here you have 13 columns, out of which you see we are getting the product ID from product table and also product ID from the sales transaction. You see product ID from sales transaction is grayed out, like it is excluded, whereas product ID is now available. So let's do one thing. I don't want this product ID from dimension. Let's exclude this column and the product ID of sales transaction, restore it. Okay. Now done. Let's go and click on sales view fact properties. Here we have some validation error. The associate product must define column mapping. Since we joined this table and our product ID got excluded from and product ID from the product dimension is included. Now we change that, so it's got disturbed. Let's go down to associations. Let's click on product association. You see, we don't have any mapping. Let's do the mapping. Product ID to product ID. You see now the validation message is gone, but we have just a warning. The association has been changed. May break dependency, but ignore that. It's a warning. Now it's fine. Let's come back to our fact properties. Now you see in the last sessions we have seen this data access control, but we didn't discuss much. Now we have created our data access control object. So let's click on plus symbol here. And let's go to our folder Datasphere, and we have created our data access control here. You see, this is what we have created. Let's click on that, select. So it is asking for some mapping. You see here, we have product category. This is the criteria column which we have given while creating data access control. So we want to map this with the product category name. So just type uh, product category name, because we have defined non-alcoholic, alcoholic. These are the names, not product IDs. So drag this and here. Now there are no relation errors, so it looks fine. We have mapped the data access control and sales field fact with the red like criteria column. Now let's go back and so just check one more time. Everything is fine. And you for product dimension, you can give some like alias name, because we have our column related to authorization for access control related column here. So let's say I'll give as product name DAC. This is just alias name. Now let's save and deploy our sales fact view. You can ignore this. This is a warning. Basically, what we did is we don't have the product category name in the sales transaction, but we have that in product dimension. So I joined my sales transaction table with my product based on the left outer join, and I have product category name. I got the product category name column here, and then the sales fact I have added data access control which we created in the previous like previously, and I mapped the product category name coming from here with the criteria column. Again, product category, category name. So now our sales fact view is changed. Now let's see. I want to see the data. Click on sales fact view. Click on data viewer. If you remember, in the permission entity table, I have defined like for my user, I have to see only non-alcoholic product categories. So let's go to settings. I have my product category name. Just select that, bring that to top so that I can see at the first. And let's here you can see. Let's I click on sort in ascending order. So you see, my category name starts with carbonated drinks. If you remember, I had a product category as alcohols. If I sort, I'm not able to see alcohol here. I'm able to see from non-alcohol, like non-alcohol categories. So we can also check this in the analytical model. Now let's do one thing. Let's duplicate this session. let's open our model where we have consumed this sales pack view. If you remember, we in model we can we can do data preview. So wait for some time. Go to data builder. Datasphere. Models. Let's select our model. Now my model is open. I have something called preview here. I'm going to go and click this. So I want to see product category. So you can either drag and drop here, or you can click on the rows. So it will be added to rows. So here I am seeing product category ID, but I want to see the description. Just come here, click on three dots, click on dimension. You want to see, I want to see ID and the description. Select this, click OK. You can see I'm able to see only carbonated drinks, juices, energy drinks. But if you remember, I have created another user way for it. I want to see alcohol and others. So we'll do one thing. Just copy this URL. I'll open a new incognito window. I'm gonna paste this. It'll ask for user ID. It'll ask for the login details. So this time I am going to log in with my other user ID 9492p at gmail. This time I should not I should be able to see only alcoholic and other beverages, not the non-alcoholic. So let's see how it looks. Whether our data access control is working properly. Okay. So let's go to product. Here you can see this user is this one. So let's click on product category. I'm getting PC 4 and 5. If you remember, in other user, I got, I think, 3 product categories. So let's go to dimension, click on ID and description. Oh, sorry, it's already there. Like you can see here, alcohol and others. So that's how you can define security at low level by using row level by using data access control. Okay, and I will attach the step-by-step document how we created this in the resources tab so that you can practice by yourself. And I'll also attach the tables which we created and table details. So I hope you understand how the data access control works. Just practice this one so that you'll get clear idea. Okay, that's all for this session. Thank you. We'll see you in the next sessions.